I am Brian.
I am Julius.
This is the Ascendant Project. The mission of the Ascendant Project is to explore the political positions in individuals. A contributor writes a 750-word article and then gets interviewed.
The purpose of the interview is to bring out other views and hopefully life experiences that sent the author down the path to the position expressed.
Although some debate will undoubtedly occur, this is not intended to be a forum for debate, but rather a project to better explore the individual and the American experience as a whole.
All opinions and views expressed, written or verbal, are solely the ownership of the one who expressed them. The Ascendant Project does not hold or endorse any views or opinions. On Cynicism and Skepticism by Julius Knapp. Modern society is tricky. Massive amounts of information are constantly streaming towards us. Processing that information and making sense of it, evaluating sources, and piecing it all together in real time is practically impossible. For this reason, most of us select just a few streams or only certain information from friends, family, neighbors, coworkers, cable news, or late-night comedy. With the benefit of only having to view the world from a few select perspectives, we can calmly and assuredly navigate society and go about our lives. The unfortunate drawback to this is that this practice often introduces biases, and conflicts can and often do arise between people with different information. How that conflict is handled is what this essay is about. How do we decide who is right? How do we know when to stick to our position or cede the argument? To be clear, this essay is not about the relative value of Fox News and MSNBC, or any other source where you might obtain your information. It's also not about how we form or whether it's right or wrong to be biased. At its core, this essay is about the one thing we as Americans need to find within ourselves again. The thing I spoke about in my first essay, bravery. This article is about how we exercise bravery in our public discourse. Do we bravely stand strong against opposing views, or do we abandon our view and bravely accept another? Maintaining some skepticism is the best way to answer these questions. Skepticism is a questioning attitude or doubt towards knowledge claims. Being a skeptic makes one suspicious of the beliefs, statements, or arguments put forth by others. Unfortunately, skepticism is often confused with cynicism. Cynicism is the belief that people are only interested in themselves and are not sincere. This attitude, while rooted in skepticism, introduces the idea that others cannot or should not be trusted. Many people who describe themselves as skeptics often fail to understand the distinction with cynicism. True skeptics do not start from a position of distrust. Instead, they use Hanlon's razor to never attribute to malice that which is adequately explained by ignorance. Another apt adage might be the Russian proverb, popularized by President Ronald Reagan, "Trust but verify." Skepticism assumes that the person making a claim or statement is being honest, at least about their premise. The falsehood arises instead from an error in their reasoning. Fallacious reasoning abounds in politics. To be fair, sound and logical reasoning is hard. It requires a degree of rigor that most of us don't have the time or patience to apply appropriately. As a result, the label liar should be applied rarely, in my opinion, only when the speaker has deliberately made a false statement with the intention to deceive, and not so casually applied to the armchair politicians we normally encounter. You, however, since you have time to read this essay, and, hopefully, listen to the associated discussion, should learn how to avoid some common fallacies. The first I will discuss is the middle ground fallacy. This fallacy, common among cynics, is that the truth between two opposing arguments must lie between them. Consider the following. Gun control advocate. Guns have no place in modern society and should be banned. Second Amendment advocate. Guns are inherently safe and protect the people from a despotic government. Middle ground. We should ban assault rifles. Alternatively, science. Evolution is one of the most successful theories in all of science. Religion. For many thousands of years, religion has offered the most complete picture for the development and diversification of life. Middle ground. Intelligent design provides a model of guided evolution. I will leave it to the reader to determine the weights of the arguments in the previous examples. The reader should recognize, however, how the middle ground fallacy may be used to ignore nuanced evidence or halt further debate. In some ways, the middle ground fallacy is a manifestation of the false analogy fallacy. The latter fallacy draws a comparison between the topic of discourse and an analogous topic. As is the case with many analogies, however, careful attention to detail will reveal that the comparison is overly simplistic. Here are 3 such false analogies. Both political parties practice gerrymandering, engage in partisan profiteering, and suppress their political opponents. Trans women are biologically male. Massachusetts successfully implemented Romney Care, so the United States can successfully implement Obamacare. There are many ways the subject of the discussion is not like their analog. Some of those differences are immaterial or unimportant. Others are both material and important and can lead to an invalid conclusion. Indeed, there are many ways we can fail to reason correctly. 3 other common ways the reader should familiarize themselves with are the conjunction fallacy, the disjunction fallacy, and the burden of proof fallacy. The list could easily continue for many more pages. Humanity's ability to deceive itself, intentionally or not, is boundless. And of course, none of this says anything about how to reason correctly. That subject could span volumes. This is why brave skeptics everywhere are so critical to our democratic republic, or Republican democracy, or however we want to label it. With bravery, we can identify and expose those who would lead us astray, and support and elevate those that would lead us forward.
Ding, ding.
The bell tolls for thee.
You know why I play the triangle, right?
I think you told me, but I don't remember why.
I can't play a wrong note.
Good idea. Very very apt solution.
All right, so go ahead and summarize this article for me, please.
All right, so I realized probably like halfway through that this could have been a lot longer, but essentially the article is about cynicism and skepticism, how the two are often mischaracterized or confused, and then I try to present some ways that people can remain skeptical by being able to identify certain common fallacies that they might hear every day in political discourse, whatever.
Mm-hmm. Okay, very good. So at the beginning of the article, you mentioned some echo chambers.
Mm-hmm.
Would you mind describing yours?
Geez, am I on air? Okay. So I spend. Right. So my echo chambers, certainly, I spend a lot of time on Reddit, which I know leans fairly liberal.
Well, it depends on the subreddit.
Sure. But I'm mostly on like the main, the main feed.
Yeah.
And then a lot of YouTube. So there's like a lot of YouTube commentators that I follow.
Which ones?
Let's see. So, it varies a lot, but there is definitely like a good amount of late night comedy. So, man, I'm blanking right now, being on the spot, but I
think we could probably do an episode on it. Are comedians more influential in political and social discourse than people who write editorials for major newspapers and are talking heads on TV shows?
Yeah, I think that would be a honestly, that could be a great article for somebody to write.
Yeah.
And I, just like sticking with the topic just for a second, like I think the answer, for me at least, I think the answer has to be yes. Like I think comedians have a kind of special talent for being able to dilute a subject down to, down to either something that's so obviously absurd, or that would otherwise be otherwise be like a caricature,
Right.
And then of course you could talk about the who was it? It was who interviewed Nixon after I want to say
gosh, make me look that up.
They did a movie about it. I saw the movie.
It was a great movie.
It was a great movie.
Frost, I think.
Frost. I was gonna say Snow, but I'm like, no, that's not
so close.
Yeah. Yeah. I think comedians just kind of have a special way of like getting to the core of an argument while also
I think he was a game show host in Australia, if I remember right.
Yeah.
And then he gets this crazy ass interview that every reporter in the United States wanted.
Right.
And it was like a 4-parter or something like that.
Yeah, it was a 4-parter, and then I don't know if he went in with the and man, this is going to be a crazy turn of events as we bring it back around. But like, I don't know if he went in with the stated goal of getting Nixon to admit that he had done something illegal or not. But there was the famous line in that 4th interview where I can't remember what what Frost's question was, but Nixon replies, "If the president does it, it's not illegal."
And then I thought he said, "And I was wrong."
Maybe he might have.
Yeah.
I think honestly that part is kind of lost to history.
Here's like, well, geez, I could totally go 2 different directions with these comments.
I'm 100% sure. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so the first direction I can go,
yeah,
is like the more trivial one, because you got to put the more trivial stuff first.
Right.
But it's kind of ironic that then you had an entertainer taking down a politician,
mm-hmm.
and then Trump was an entertainer who became the politician.
Right.
And so that's kind of weird. And then you throw in the other direction I was going about Roy Cohn. Being involved in both Nixon and mentoring Trump. So, that logic right there about if the president does it, it's not illegal. That comes straight from Roy Cohn and Richard Nixon, that Trump has picked this up like so many years later.
Right. I know. Here's the.
I mean, for people who think like, things like racism is dead because segregation was then, you see how like these sort of concepts just kind of go through time.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's, because, people get mentored and therefore ideas get passed generation to generation, the good and the bad.
Yep.
So, yeah. Anyway.
Yeah. But it is interesting how, and here I looked up the quote. It says, "When the president does it, that means it is not illegal." I don't know. It doesn't give me what came after.
If he came after it or not.
But
now you got to make me watch that again.
We should do a watch party.
We should do it. Yeah, something like that. No. We need to do an until Vim Vendors Until the End of the World 5-hour long version Ascendant Project watch party.
Oh boy.
See how many subscribers unsubscribe at the 3-hour mark.
At the 3-hour mark. Well, if they unsubscribe at the 3-hour mark, they're missing some good stuff. But no, but it is interesting how,
because anybody who has seen that movie will understand the Bounty Bear placeholder.
The Bounty Bear
on the website.
Yes.
And everybody else is clueless.
Yep.
So, yeah.
Should we do a shout out to the producer? I mean, he's still alive, right?
Like Vendors?
Yeah.
Yeah, he still is.
Get him on the show, man. Come on.
Oh, jeez. Yeah,
have him write an essay.
We could do a whole series of shows on that movie. I mean,
absolutely.
Yeah.
It's everything and nothing, and
you
was
can't
so
be in this cult without watching that movie.
Yes, absolutely, totally agree. Yep, searching.
But as we've totally lost
well,
the entire audience on this 3-minute long inside joke,
right?
But
like bringing it back around, it is interesting how the that one line. I remember thinking about that last year as the Supreme Court was considering whether President Trump had essentially limitless immunity. And I feel like the Supreme Court tried to toe some kind of line, but they totally missed the mark. Like,
oh yeah, they told Mitch McConnell did.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, really.
Yeah. But
I mean, Mitch McConnell, with Trump getting impeached for the second time for January 6th. We'll kick it to the next session. And then the next session, I'm going to instruct everybody to vote against it because this should have been done in the first session, in the previous session. Like,
right.
You jerk. You're the one who freaking moved it.
Yeah.
You're just a coward. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. What a jerk.
So.
Nonetheless.
Indeed.
So, the next question I have.
Okay.
Faith versus skepticism.
Faith versus skepticism.
Which is more brave?
Which is more brave? This is an interesting question for me. I honestly don't know that I'm going to give you a good answer. I'm going to meander all over the place for the next 5 minutes.
Perfect.
And you'll have to stop.
We got to fill the time.
Yeah. So, I mentioned in a previous podcast that I have a background in mathematics, and I grew up in a very secular household, and
right.
Being everything from Protestant, Catholic to Muslim and Jewish. Everything was kind of represented in my life from a very early age through parents, cousins, uncles. We had a very close family. So religion was very prominent in my life growing up. After, I'd say as I entered, as I went through college and, kind of went through this whole rebirth in logic and critical thinking, I started thinking about the idea of religion more and more. And there are a lot of mathematicians, very famous mathematicians, who were also prominent theologians. They thought a lot. That was, and maybe that was just kind of a product of the day, being that literacy kind of centered around reading the Bible, and so that was kind of how people first, discovered philosophy. Or
all right, so if I can ask you a really messed up question as a math major and somebody who has faith in the background, is God zero?
Is God zero? No.
Or is God one?
I don't think so. I don't think so.
Or is God infinity?
And
is he infinity negative? Or is he both? Does the number line somewhere meet?
Does it go back around and with I?
Yeah, the square root of a negative number. That's where the number line meets, right?
Well, the square root of a negative number gives you the imaginary number I, which is generally considered to be orthogonal to the real number. So to represent any complex number, which would have both a real component and an imaginary component, you really need two dimensions.
See, I've always, I did okay with imaginary numbers and stuff like that in algebra, but I always wanted to tell the teacher when I got something wrong during that section, it's imaginary. You're making things up. I'm not wrong. I'm just more creative than you.
Right. I just have a more active imagination.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I'm an imaginary number genius.
Right. Did that work for you? Can you
I just derived the square root of negative infinity.
beat that? Oh my god. No, but to kind of answer your original question, I know you were kind of like teasing a little bit, but but no, I think if you start to look at like the definition of what we consider God to be, being omniscient, omnipotent, and omnipresent, then I really kind of think you can only arrive at one conclusion. If you know, assuming you want to believe in God at all, and that is really just that, you know, God is the universe. Like, we exist in God. God exists in us.
So therefore, God is, since the universe is expanding, we just got to assume it's infinity. Or does the universe have remain finite in terms of mass despite its expandingness?
Well, there's interesting ideas here.
Expandingness?
Expansion?
There, Rick. Thank you. When in doubt, make up a word. See?
Right.
See?
Expandingness. Yeah.
The imaginary words and imaginary numbers. I got it all right.
The
here,
expansivity of your imagination is truly bountiful.
Bountiful?
I don't know.
Full of bounty?
Full of, yeah, bounty. Yeah, there we go. No, but, you know, like some of the ideas I've been, you know, there's the idea that as the universe expands, eventually it'll be nothing but vacuum energy, and from the vacuum energy will emerge new universes. I also just like recently came across this idea of the Boltzmann brain, which is like incredibly interesting. And the Boltzmann brain kind of, so entropy, where the universe kind of, you know, moves from being high I might get this wrong. The physicists are going to just rip me a new one. But like, the universe moves from high entropy to low entropy. But the probability that, there's a certain, that only occurs because there's a high probability that, the state of the universe is becoming more and more ordered. But there's always a very, very small probability that the universe could move backwards in time. So essentially, the universe, we kind of like get back to this idea, which I think almost everyone's probably had at some point, that did you just poof into existence right now? And suddenly, with all of these memories, there's a scientific basis for that now in the Boltzmann brain.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
With the
was that tie in with the one electron theory?
I don't know actually, but it could. It might. I'm not sure. Somebody please tell me if it does. Because it is like incredibly interesting. I am like a hobby physicist, but I wouldn't
I know some would say God is zero.
Mm-hmm.
Because like zero can't really be proven, neither can God, but you know what? Numbers don't really make sense without it.
Right.
So,
yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
It's there and it ain't.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
But there you go. That's probably my my confusing answer to does God exist?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I wasn't necessarily going the religion route when I asked if
no,
which is braver, but I mean it's
yes, that's right.
So I mean it definitely applies. It really totally applies. Because the direction I was kind of going with is like I'm a liberal.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Nick's a constitutional conservative.
Mm-hmm.
You know, everybody has these, you know, MAGA. And we put faith into our own school of thought.
Mm-hmm.
So is there bravery found in that as much as bravery and skepticism?
I think so. I would say yes. And I think, you know, I kind of give you a preview of this essay a little bit like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
As this is almost like my response to the idea of empathy being, you know, how we bridge the divide, so to speak, or
Right.
bridge the gap. And for me, I don't think it really is. It really comes from a place of empathy. It really just comes from sincere and generous, charitable skepticism. I don't know if maybe that is empathy, or you could call it empathy if you want, but that's not really how I feel about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So would I say it's braver? I mean, to me, being skeptical is brave, but I also think there's some bravery in holding on to belief and defending that belief amidst, the onslaught of people that might disagree.
Well, in our discussion of the hands-off protests, we mentioned, our mutual friend who didn't want to go down there because, he's a double Trumper, and they'll
Right.
murder me.
Right.
And the thing is that more of, maybe that's a bad, I guess that was more about his own, what he felt would be his personal safety. But for me, I feel like, if he had faith in what he believed and in his vote and all that, why couldn't he go down there and ask more? Because the thing is I've never once gotten into a political discussion online or in person where I have been convinced to cross the political line, or I convinced somebody else to cross the political line and political party and change their entire school of thought in one discussion. It's never freaking happened. Yet for some reason, we all go into these discussions thinking that, hey, I'm going to win this and have the other person admit defeat, which never, ever happened.
I think if you go into it with the idea that one of us is going to win, the other is going to lose, then you've already lost.
Yeah.
Everyone's already lost. And I don't think,
exactly.
And I think I wouldn't discount your effort so easily. I think when we have these discussions online, it's really easy to get into the kind of partisan name calling and just like towing the line. But I do think some people walk away from those discussions thinking about it,
right,
more deeply. So just because you might not have seen the aha moment on somebody's face, doesn't mean they didn't think about it and didn't give it careful consideration later. I think it's really easy when you get into that fight or flight mode. You're going to stand your ground, or you're going to run away. But no matter what, you're not in a state of mind where you can accept.
Yeah, I hate bringing up religion again. Gosh, this is going to be horrible. But politics and religion are actually so very similar.
They are.
Or do you want to, before you get into a political discussion, you need to always ask yourself, God, I hate these religious terms. Do you want to proselytize, or do you want to seek?
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah, let me just change that, because I hate I hate church words for things like this. And I would think most of our listeners do too, but I don't know. Everybody walks their own path.
Yep.
Do you want to go in with thinking that you're right all the time, and that your point of view is always perfect? Or do you want to learn something about another point of view? The best political discussions I've had are the discussions where I'm asking questions and I'm trying to learn.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm going in to make statements and they're not expecting that and nobody's asking me questions, it goes south so bad.
Yeah.
It's like, on social media, everybody's making statements. They're not looking for a discussion most of the time.
No, right.
If you ask them a question, and even if you ask them a question and they aren't expecting the discussion, it goes south, bad. And a lot of times it doesn't even matter in the tone and what was written.
Right.
You know, I mean, it's amazing the power of asking for permission.
Uh-huh. So you asked me once, like, who some of my favorite philosophers were.
Yes.
And I mentioned Plato.
And you know, you reached down and you humed up a bunch of philosophers. And
well done. Well done.
And you're Jean Locke in your point of view. And
God.
Yeah.
So I think the one that I would find to be the most maybe not inspirational, but the most influential to me was Plato. And Plato being a student of Socrates, he wrote a series of essays after Socrates had.
I always liked the red Plato.
Yeah. I was partial to blue, you know.
We're just going to rehash all the old jokes of that episode.
Absolutely. All that is old is new again. The world is a flat circle. We're just going to go around and around. No, but the Socratic method. Are you familiar with the Socratic method?
Socratic method.
Socrates was known, and in a lot of his essays, Plato's recollections, Socrates never really presents a point of view. He's always questioning, and that's all he ever does.
Nice.
And it was unfortunately to his detriment. I think he was killed because he was just, I guess, so annoying. I'm actually not sure what.
Yeah, he was guarding the bridge to the Holy Grail, right?
Oh, yeah. Oh, God. That's a generational thing. None of the Zers are going to get that. Nobody watch that movie.
Python, Holy Grail. Yeah. What is your name? What is your quest?
Right. So, I feel like I honestly, as I have some of these discussions now, I honestly do kind of like feel kind of shameful because there was a time where I like very much a practitioner of that way of learning. Always inquisitive, trying to just hear people out. Unfortunately, that doesn't really leave much room for you to present your point of view. And I think at a certain point, I kind of you realize you have to be a little bit selfish to do that. But
yeah. And sometimes I've been guilty of this with Nick in our private conversations. Hopefully I won't be too guilty of it here. But a lot of times I ask questions to make a point.
Yeah.
And, I'm not sure how disingenuous or genuous.
So I'm reminded. just make up more words, buddy.
Make up more. Well, if disingenuous is a word,
disingenuosity
or ingenuous. That still doesn't
genuine.
Make sense. Yeah, but that's kind of cheating.
Generous? I don't know.
I mean, it's like disgruntled.
Yeah.
And gruntled.
Yeah. Right. Can you be gruntled? Yeah. I don't. You're just taking off the
you're
prefix.
Just taking off a prefix. Right. So therefore the rest of the word should work.
Right.
This is a freaking prefix.
This is terrible. The physicists are going to come after us. The linguists,
theologians,
all the grammar
everyone's going to come
Nazis.
after us. I'm pissing off everyone who thinks they're smart.
That's right. Yep. But I'm reminded. So actually, talking about like how we form opinions. One that I still think about to this day was Tom Brokaw's signing off, his final sign off. And I'm sure like very few people even remember it, or even if they heard it. But do you know what his final sign off was?
I don't think so.
So to me, Tom Brokaw was kind of like the last news newsman of an era, right?
Yeah.
Where they weren't necessarily trying to present a political perspective.
Yeah, and Brian Williams tried that, and then he started injecting himself too much and stuff.
Yeah.
He started injecting, memories do alter over time.
Yeah,
but
sure.
So that happened to him, obviously, and he got in serious trouble for a story that never really occurred.
Yep.
And that's all of a sudden, he was on MSNBC at midnight.
Yep. And Tom Brokaw kind of like he existed, in between these two eras,
Yeah.
and he was retiring kind of like as that form of journalism was becoming more prominent.
Right.
And the thing he said, I might misquote it, but I'm pretty sure I got the gist of it. It's the answers. That was it. And the idea being that it's not the questions. The questions don't matter. It's the answers. When some too often we're kind of asking questions with a certain motive, and it's not that the questions are not what make the news. It's the answers.
That's very true, because it's not about the journalist.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
It's about the policy. It's about
Right.
the decision making.
Right.
And you need to get that out through the answers.
Yep.
I can totally see that. So
yeah. I'm going to look up the
that's
quote
pretty
while we're
important,
talking.
because it's because the Wednesday insert edition, we I brought up about walking around there, what role was I actually in? Was I a journalist or was I a participant? And if I'm asking questions, I need to remember that it's actually the answers that are given, and it's not, if I'm going to go the journalistic route, it's not about me.
Mm-hmm.
And if it's not about me, then it doesn't matter if I support what's there or not, because I'm more interested in the answers.
Exactly.
Interesting.
Exactly.
Okay. Things to keep in mind, next time these things happen, because they will happen again.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yup. So, have you found it yet?
I haven't. We'll just fill this dead air with I don't know. I'll have to find it some other time. Every time I just look for sign off, I get his usual, his oh wait, maybe. Hard to believe it was 2004. Jeez.
Whatever. I can't whistle. Oh my gosh. We just lost all the subscribers.
They're all gone.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think we've got to let the whale go at this point.
Yeah. Go ahead.
All right. So you mentioned cynicism.
Yes.
Can you be an optimistic skeptic?
An optimistic skeptic?
Well, yeah. I mean,
sure. I
okay.
think so. I think you can be an optimistic skeptic.
Can you be a cynical skeptic?
Sure. I think I mentioned this actually in the essay, that cynicism is kind of rooted in skepticism, but it kind of takes that pessimistic view that everyone is just out for themselves. They're just they're not necessarily being genuine or truthful, which is not to necessarily say that they're lying, but it's almost to kind of take this initial stance that you're not going to trust what people are telling you.
Okay. Well, let me bring up this text here that you sent me over the...
Oh boy. Oh God.
All right, here it is, the Ascendant Project. And you said, whoa. Jeez. Now I'm looking for something.
I know.
Draft this up. Oh, gosh darn it. Now I'm doing it, and this is horrible. Oh man. All right. Looking for you. This Nick. Nick.
Oh, here, really quick. I'll go back. I found so Tom Brokaw. This is actually what he wrote, and before his last sign off on the nightly news. Actually, maybe it's transcribed. I'm not sure. But anyway, It says, "What I have learned here, more than we have time to recount this evening, but the enduring lessons through the decades are these. It's not the questions that get us in trouble. It's the answers. And just as important, no one person has all the answers. Just ask a member of the generation I came to know well, the men and women who came of age in the Great Depression, who at great personal sacrifice saved the world in World War II and returned home to dedicate their lives to improving the nation they had already served so nobly."
Okay.
But yeah, it was, it's the answers. I think, is the key takeaway, or was for me anyway.
No, gosh, man. There it is. Here, I found it.
All right.
You guys are such negative Nellies.
Oh, God.
I, for one, am
As
nice
the stock market's
and toasty
crashing.
watching the world burn.
Right. Yep. I own it. I sent that text message. You're right.
Oh gosh, I hope that was worth it for everyone.
Yeah.
Probably wasn't.
Yeah.
Oh man. Anyway, so we got to stop searching for stuff.
Yes, all right.
This is so bad.
Yep.
So how not to do a podcast by Brian and Julius.
Yep.
All right. So I really do think that you are an example of an optimistic skeptic.
Okay.
How does your optimism drive your skepticism?
How does it drive my skepticism? I think I see, and I guess I don't know that I would necessarily say I'm optimistic, but I definitely do start from a position of trust. Yeah. You have to believe, you have to trust that the people that you talk to on a daily basis are being honest about their experiences. Now, that's not to say that, as I think we discussed maybe on a previous podcast or in private, that the color purple the color you perceive as purple is the same color I perceive as purple.
Mm-hmm.
And in fact, that may not be the case, but I have to believe when you say it's, I saw a purple sunrise, that you saw a purple sunrise, or at least it was purple for you. Mm-hmm. And that's fine for me. And
every movie critic, wrote a different review for the movie The Color Purple.
Right. That's right. But as far as like my optimism, I think
we're down to 2 subscribers now.
Yeah. We're holding on to those 2 though. We're not letting go.
Well, we gained one today, so we were up to 6. And,
yeah. Yep.
God damn it.
No. This is fun.
It is fun. For us anyway.
Yeah, absolutely. But
this is torture for everyone else, I'm sure.
Nah. What else could they be doing right now? No, but yeah, I just think I have to start from a position of trust.
Right.
Yeah. I'll
okay.
leave it at that.
So let's reverse that then. How does your skepticism drive your optimism?
That's a much better question, I think. I think that my skepticism forces me to kind of, like I said, I don't know, this is hard not to do some kind of like circular reasoning. But being a skeptic, and asking, kind of like probing people's, thought processes, trying to like figure out how they arrive at a certain conclusion, it honestly gives me, some perspective on, that I'm really not a genius. I'm not, so smart to think that, or so, arrogant not to be humble. And,
right.
And I think, knowing that there are people in the world who care deeply about finding answers to the same questions I'm asking, even if they might arrive at or start from a different place, they're still kind of reasoning. They're still there trying to figure things out.
Okay.
And I think I've said that on a number of other times too. Like we're all Americans here just trying to figure out answers to these questions. We might not always arrive at the same answers. Some of that is, but my belief, using that word, my belief is that we're arriving at different answers because we start from different places. But if we could share that knowledge with each other, then we ought to be able to answer the questions together.
Yeah.
And maybe that's naive. I think might be, but yeah, it makes me optimistic.
Cool. And do you get a sense of reward when something is confirmed through your skepticism?
Do I get a sense of, yeah, sure. I mean,
yeah.
I like feeling like I'm right as much as anyone else.
Well, that's the thing though. I mean, if I'm reading you right, I don't think this is about, being right. You could have went in there with like no opinion whatsoever, or you could have went in there with the wrong opinion, gotten more information, got something and developed a new idea, scientific theory. Gosh, I'm totally messing up. Scientific method. And then reform your theory and then get it confirmed. I mean, it's, yeah.
Yeah. I enjoy it the same way that, somebody flipping a bottle, gets an enjoyment about, by it landing on the cap or whatever.
Yeah.
It's just fun, and it's nice to have fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. Doesn't necessarily have to have a purpose.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez. Oh, I remember now. Could you give me an example of something political where you were skeptic about it, and then you wind up, something got confirmed and it moved you?
Definitely my views on the media and the press. After watching C-SPAN, listening to C-SPAN for so many years, and listening to so many like well-reasoned people on both sides of the aisle, I definitely got a much bigger perspective. That the people in Congress, the people that we elected, they were elected for a reason, and they weren't elected necessarily just to be bombasts and or to be hyperbolic, or to take down the other side. Like there are a lot of people there, and I would say it's probably most of them there, who want the best that they can get for the people in their district. They want to make people's lives better. They want to serve the country.
Okay.
The Marjorie Taylor Greens, I'm trying to think somebody else right now. I know, like Marjorie Taylor Greene, I think really kind of like takes the cake in terms of like, she's really just kind of putting on a show.
Right.
It feels. Although, Jackie Cochran would probably be right.
Boebert, was that another one for you? Or?
Lauren Boebert, definitely another one who just felt like she didn't really have a policy perspective. She was just there to cheer on her,
all right.
Side.
The skepticism, other point.
Yeah.
They come from deep, deep red districts for the most part, right? Do you think there's a possibility, because of the political makeup of that district, that they are actually serving that district by acting that way?
I mean, I'd probably have to think about that a little bit more. My initial response is going to be to say, yeah, like that Marjorie Taylor Greene was just reelected. Like,
yeah, exactly.
There was a lot that was already known about her.
So obviously,
behavior.
her constituents are fine with it.
Well, are they? Like and we kind of go back to when what was my unaffiliated essay that people in the Republican Party does not fund quality candidates in a lot of these spaces.
No, why would they? Because they're the deepest red areas.
But
therefore they would need the most extreme candidates.
Yep. But I think if you start to think of it as a chicken and egg problem, then the water becomes very murky. Like, is Marjorie Taylor Greene really the best candidate that district can put forth, or is it that the Democratic Party is not funding a quality candidate because they know they're going to lose?
Maybe. I mean, I don't know if there would be a Joe Manchin type Democrat who could run and win in Marjorie Taylor Greene's district.
Right.
And, as we discussed before, if he won, the Democratic Party would eat him alive anyway.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
certainly right now, I mean, the public sentiment, I think nationally, is just not tolerant of that kind of.
No.
I'm going to try and straddle the line. No, you're not. You're going to get over here. You're going to go over there.
The media seems to be as gerrymandered as the House districts.
Yeah.
So, it's kind of crazy that way.
Yep.
All right. So you had mentioned in the article, let me bring that back up here, that you do not like calling people liars.
Yeah. No, I don't like doing that. I very much don't like doing that.
Trump.
Oh boy. To be honest, I don't know. Like I'm not gonna. No, I wouldn't even honestly call Trump a liar.
Okay.
He's because there's so many alternatives that make probably more sense.
Uh-huh.
The first is that he's just ignorant. Like he's, I think we all know him to be a bit of a narcissist. He does not like people who disagree. He likes the yes man. And so he's only really hearing one perspective. Now, is it possible if he heard that other perspective? Maybe, but he's not that type of person to want to hear the other perspective.
I'm really not sure.
He wants people who are going to confirm his, pre-existing view.
Yeah, he wants sycophants.
Yeah,
and I don't know. I keep going back and forth on whether or not he's surrounding himself with sycophants or he's being controlled by like-minded people.
Yeah, again,
because
Because
I mean, if you watch him in a press conference or whatever, like I guess it was yesterday or the day before, Benjamin Netanyahu was here, and from Israel, and they both were at the press conference. Both had their podiums, and a reporter asked about Iran's nuclear program, and within 10 seconds of starting to answer a question about Iran's nuclear program, he was talking about immigration and how they're sending people from insane asylums to the United States. The dude cannot stay focused on anything at all. Yeah. And it's like, if you're that way, that badly, do you really think does anybody really think that he's capable of like crafting a policy? Right. I really think, that's what 2025 was about, because they knew how chaotic the first term was, of Trump. And so they wanted a plan to manage the chaos and really work effectively and put an agenda in front of him for him to sign with a big Sharpie.
Yeah. With his name as big as,
yeah.
Yes. No. And I think, but kind of like, talking about this and like I think you're starting to see some of the I tried to identify certain fallacies, like common fallacies, and that's a big one, and that one I left it for the reader to look up, but the disjunction fallacy.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that and the conjunction fallacy.
Yep.
So is this about ands and buts?
It is, actually. So yeah, the conjunction fallacy. I'll give you a simple example, very common example. So I don't know, I might ruin it, but Jackie majored in mathematics and statistics.
Okay.
Right?
Are you Jackie?
No. Is it?
You can tell me, please.
Is it more likely that Jackie plays poker on the weekends, or that Jackie plays poker and paints portraits?
You can do both, but
Which is more likely?
I think it's actually more likely that Jackie plays blackjack.
Good. Good answer. Now again, get off the fucking line. You're over here or you're over there.
Well, she majored in math and statistics, so blackjack's actually a much better game to play to rig the game. Sure. Yes,
but the the more they actually have done studies of this, like they do this especially with like doctors and people in medical school.
Yeah.
And you know what is it? They say which is yeah, I think they say which. I can't remember exactly how it's phrased, but anyway, the idea is that, you know, Jackie, in both instances, Jackie plays poker, right? So so
she's playing poker while painting?
It could be, but I say like on the weekends, right?
Oh, Jackie painted the dogs playing poker.
She did. God, you asshole. Yep.
Yeah, Ace and
You're totally
Hole.
Kobayashi Maruing my example. No, but you know, you get the idea. So it's like a lot of people have difficulty understanding that there's fewer people in the group that are poker players and, you know,
This is happening to all of us now.
Yes, it is. You've infected me. Portraiture?
Portraiture?
I don't know. Portrait painter?
Portrait painter.
I don't know.
Caricature? No. Portrait? Yeah, I have no idea, dude.
I don't know. But yeah, there's fewer people in
paints
the one
portraits.
group.
Man who paints portraits.
Right. Man or woman.
Well, or actually, it's Jackie. It's a woman.
It's yeah. Well, I guess
I'm
Jackie
assuming.
could be. Like,
is Jackie one of those names that can go both ways?
I think it is. I mean, I don't think it's so much anymore. But wasn't like John Kennedy also sometimes called Jack?
Yeah.
Or Jackie?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Although there was also Jackie Kennedy.
Yeah, and there's a Jack in Ted Lasso.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's right.
Female Jack in Ted Lasso.
Female Jack. Yep.
Continuing
Anyway.
on.
Continuing on. So that's the conjunction fallacy. Then the disjunction fallacy is the idea that
hang on, let me interrupt you for a second.
Go ahead.
You know what's really, really funny?
What's that?
I just criticized Trump for doing this exact same thing.
Yeah. Yep.
Just saying.
So you're no better.
I'm no better than.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. All right. So the disjunction fallacy.
Yeah. So the disjunction fallacy is that there can only, if you have two groups or two options, it can only be one or the other.
Uh-huh.
You know, a lot of people think there can't be any overlap. You know, so if you're like, well, Trump has to be deliberately lying or just, you know, outright evil. No, he could be both lying and ignorant.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. This episode has a total Space Ghost coast to coast feel to it, I swear.
Yeah.
I don't know if you ever watched that cartoon.
Nope.
But
not really.
There was it was on when I was in college, and Hanna-Barbera brought back Space Ghost, which was a cartoon from the 1960s. And they gave him a talk show.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, it was cutting edge. It was great.
That was like all through the 90s.
Yeah.
It was like
totally awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Alicia got it for me for Christmas. I've watched a few. I mean, but there's so many of them. It's just like I don't have time. But I wanted that series so bad, and I'm glad I have it.
Yeah.
Just in my possession. Perhaps one day, you and I can sit down and watch a few episodes again.
Yes.
But I mean, it just has the same feel to it. Yeah. But anyway. Yeah. Yes. Only Xers who went to college during that time will really get it. But anyway.
Yep.
Yeah. Conjunction. What's your
function? Yep.
Yeah. Can you have a school of thought while being a skeptic? Or are you just like
I think
surfing the waves?
I think if you are gonna be a true skeptic, I think the answer has to be no. If you're gonna be a true skeptic, and I guess I won't say or count myself among those true skeptics. I mean, I do have beliefs. I do subscribe to a certain school of thought. I have my own biases, and I mentioned that I would like to probably do another article on like biases, whether they're good, bad, or in between. But I still try to maintain some skepticism.
Well, it's important.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like,
I think you have to have, ultimately you have to base your thoughts on something.
I mean, it's Biden's CHIPS Act. And then Trump axed it.
Yep. Axed it to bring it back. Yep.
Since he brought it back.
Yeah. Well,
this is where biases and yeah.
Well, okay. So here's another great, even better and more relevant example today. Does that make me? So you asked, does that make me for it? I was for it before. I'm still for it.
Yeah.
I'm for the policy, not the person. But here we are today, with Trump reversing tariffs for 90 days. And we just spent the last week hearing from a lot of people about how, this is some kind of like 5D chess move, how great this is going to be. Well, is it still great? Like,
yeah,
you just spent a week defending this person and defending the policy. But now that the policy's been reversed, are you upset with Trump because
he caved?
You were right, because if you were for the tariffs before,
right,
you should still be for the tariffs now.
But
regardless of
whether.
But
if you're MAGA, it's about the loyalty.
Exactly. So I mean,
yeah.
I don't know.
See how great he is. All these nations capitulated. No, they just they just kept their powder dry.
Yeah.
That's all they did.
Yeah.
They wanted to have it. They said, let's talk about it. And we're like, and that's the thing. I mean, we're not in the White House, so we don't really know what exactly went on.
Sure.
But I mean, it's
I think
either
you're being awfully generous, but sure.
But it's when the 70 nations, said we want to negotiate, did Trump view that as kissing the ring? Or did his inner circle say, hey, look, this is going to wreck the economy? Maybe they used a Trump word so that way he'd understand. Bigly.
Big league, right?
Huge. It's going to be huge. It's going to be big
huge.
league. And so, big league's not a word, man. I have more in common with him than anyway.
Is that God? Is that why you're against Trump? Because you see so much of yourself?
Apparently. I hope he listened to an advisor. I should start getting spray tans for no reason at all.
But only on your face.
But only on your face.
Right,
yes.
Yeah. I don't know. I would like to think that he listened to somebody. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I
every time I see that spray paint, I'm just imagining spray paint. God, man, spray. I said stray pan, didn't I?
You did say stray pan. Every time you see that stray pan, you want to rescue it.
Yeah, obviously,
right.
Take it out of the street.
Right, get it off the street.
Wash it up, stick it on the shelf to cook eggs in. Yeah.
Yeah.
Every time I see that spray tan, I'm always, for some reason, I'm always envisioning cucumbers on his eyes, cucumber slices on his eyes. I don't know why.
That makes me feel so much better, actually, thinking about it like that.
Why were you seeing squash slices on his eyes?
I was just like thinking he had like one of those like those glasses that they like half ping pong balls that they put over your eyes or whatever. But the idea of him just like sitting back and relaxing and enjoying a spray tan to the face, just somehow makes me happy.
You know what? Maybe that fourth placeholder should go to a MAGA person.
The fourth placeholder?
Yeah, we'll need a fourth contributor.
Oh, yeah? Yeah.
If anything, just to keep us in check, because we're pretty over the top today.
Sure. Well, hopefully we can all laugh about it, right? I mean,
yeah, well, that's the point. I mean, that's totally the point.
I mean, look, whatever your opinion is of Trump, good or bad, he has given us some, comedic gems.
Oh, totally, 100%,
absolutely. And I hope that is not a partisan position to take.
I would like to see a graph of comedians employed and getting money.
Yeah.
During Trump's employment. I mean, yeah, during Trump's terms. Because he just puts out so much material.
Yep. I remember during Bush 2 W. There being some statistic about the number of jokes made at his expense.
Yeah.
And man, were we in for a treat after that?
I mean, looking back on him, I mean, we're already at the 1 hour mark, believe it or not.
Yep. Well, I hope enough people are having fun.
Yeah.
Listening.
This has definitely been a fun episode for us.
Yeah.
I might have to do one of those SpongeBob, cut some of the things where we're looking for stuff on our cell phone.
Right.
Put some SpongeBob a few minutes later.
Right. Yes.
I don't know. I might have to search for that.
Yep.
But I was about to say something about W. It seems like, looking back, I mean, I know he, once again, another Republican trust fund baby runs for president or becomes president. But looking back, and just the way he talked, and he had a few moments like on 9/11 where he's out on site and the person couldn't hear him talking. It's like, and the person yelled from the back of the crowd, "We can't hear you," and he replied quickly, "That's okay, because I can hear you." and the crowd erupted because that's what the world needed to know. Like, that
Yes.
the citizens, that he hears the citizens, you know,
Yes.
during that time of despair
Yeah.
and shock. And it was like the perfect answer. And you know, he just had some very human moments that like that
absolutely.
where I kind of appreciate.
Yes.
You know.
Yes.
And it's amazing because looking back at him and looking back at Trump, if I remember right, I think W finished with a 27% approval rating.
Yeah.
And
well,
Trump never got that low.
No. I mean, I would.
January 6th.
Some of the polls for this past week, I don't think we've even seen yet. Like, we probably won't see them until later, either later this week or maybe later still.
Yeah.
Assuming anyone was actually polling right then. But you know, W left at a very contentious time. And yeah, I don't know. Looking back on that time, you know, was it? I feel like it was the right thing to bail out AIG, but you know, man,
We needed more accountability for the 2008 crisis.
Yeah,
That's really what it came down to.
Yeah,
and but I did appreciate, you know, when Obama was elected, if I remember right, they were working on the buyout to take over General Motors and all that to keep everyone employed, you know, to
it's
have
part of the TARP.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think they worked on that together.
Yeah.
And that was kind of really cool. And I just don't see anything like that ever happening today. I could not see any, like we even had a very hardline immigration bill that was bipartisan that was thrown out. I mean, it's like Biden and Trump could have worked on that together because obviously they had very similar policies at the end of the Biden administration.
Uh-huh.
Never happened. Never happened. Too much ego.
Yep.
Too much ego.
Yep. Exactly.
And that's probably my biggest thing about Trump is that he is so divisive that it's very hard to work with him. Even if there are common grounds on issues, it's all about him, and it's not about the people you're trying to help or the people you represent or doing something together. It has to be all about him.
Yeah.
And that's a horrible manager. I mean, good people are always raised to share credit and take blame.
Right.
And he does none of that.
No.
None of that.
Nope.
But anyway. All right. So final question.
Bring it.
Talk about your phallic argument.
My phallic argument. You want to know about my Oedipus complex?
Is that where you mean one thing but you mean a mother?
Yep. You're right.
Anyway, yeah. So that's all the time we got.
Yep.
Yeah, we're at 1:06 already. So, but I hope everybody has a great week. Yeah, and by all means, you know, subscribe, email, comment, come to our website.
Yes.
Please come to our website. There's actually one thing I forgot to mention during our Wednesday episode is that we have pictures from the protests in Westminster and Frederick on that website, so you can actually see what was going down, as well as a small video, I think, from both. So, yes, www.theascendantproject.com.
There we go.
So that's it. You all have a great week.
Yep.